Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you a day in my life with kind of an emphasis on what I eat in a day. I am going to take you through my morning routine, how I manage getting my kids to school, doing all of their activities, finding balance in that, and also trying to eat well. I have a very busy day today. There's lots to do. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and let's get started. Well, I am a very early riser. It is great. I can get a lot done in the morning. I have loved getting up early. It has been a game changer for me, but I get up, I get ready, I grab a water. This is a 40-ounce water bottle, and I try to drink all of it before lunchtime. I can usually pound it before breakfast though. But on this morning, it was a strength training day. I am a certified personal trainer. I have an NASM certification. I've had it for a number of years. I love fitness. I love talking about it. I love talking about nutrition. It is just a passion of mine. But I do not come up with my own workouts. On this morning, I'm doing a Sydney Cummings strength training workout. It's a full body. I like to take the thinking out of it early in the morning. I just cannot be bothered to come up with my own thing. I need someone to count for me, keep time for me, and I just want to move. I need to be efficient. I have 3 kids. We have a busy schedule. So I am prioritizing the movement and trying not to overthink it. There are so many resources online to help you get your workout in depending on your level of ability and just what you are able to do. I'll link a couple of my favorites in the description box for you, but honestly, it doesn't need to be overthought. You don't need to be doing these big, long, drawn-out exercise workout routines. You just need to move your body, and that is something that I prioritize, and I always try to make sure that I stretch afterwards. It really does make a difference afterwards. But now that I'm done, I'm heading inside to get some protein. I am pretty picky about my protein, but this Javi coffee, instant protein coffee, has been really, really good. There are a few that I like to just drink straight, but this one I really like, and I would like to thank Javi Coffee for sponsoring this video. It's delicious. You get 10 grams of protein per scoop. It's a really clean label. It's gluten-free, sugar-free. It only has like 3 ingredients in it. It is just the whey protein concentrate, the Arabica instant coffee, and then flavoring. But it doesn't have a lot in it aside from the protein and then that coffee in there to help you wake up. So it's the best of both worlds for me. On days like this, I would normally be like double fisting a cup of coffee and protein. So it's nice to do both. So I just stir it and I use my little frother. I like to add a little bit of creamer to it, but that's it. It doesn't like bloom or anything or get weird after a while. It stays really smooth. I love it. You should definitely try it. I do have a discount code and I will leave it for you in the description box as well. But now we are showered and getting ready for the day. I'm not going to show you my whole like skincare, makeup, hair routine. If you are interested in that, leave a comment and I will do my best. But I'm just showing you how as I get ready, I start to get the greetings. Harley is always first. She always has to be near me, checking on me. And then Miss Alice is next in line, and then the rest just kind of trickle in. So it's a lot of stop and go, but I do love how they make this extra effort to come and say good morning to me. There's Mr. Callum. He has been working on a loose tooth in the front. Very excited to lose it. But now I'm ready. Hugo was getting ready on his own. He did not come in and say good morning, which I'll get over, but I'm working on breakfast. This one was a wild ride, especially on mornings when I have done like exercise like strength training or heavy cardio. I'm really hungry and I'm trying to get breakfast in, but I also need to help everyone else. So it was a lot of back and forth, and I did time it. I did leave this burner on. I haven't turned it on yet, but I will in a second. I left it on for like 3 minutes. I didn't even realize I'd left it on that long. But as I'm helping my kids, I am also making my breakfast. I eat pretty much the same thing every day for breakfast. It is 2 eggs, 2 pieces of gluten-free toast, and then I like to have a few spoonfuls of sauerkraut with it. I love sauerkraut. It's full of probiotics. It helps with your digestion. It has just a lot of nutrient-dense properties to it that I really appreciate. But along with it, I am getting my toast going. I'm going to cook my eggs. I'm adding spinach I like to throw spinach in occasionally. Sometimes I feel like it, sometimes I don't. You can never not benefit from adding spinach to something. That's kind of my motto. I add spinach to most things. But I'm just getting all that together. I'm going to use a light Laughing Cow cheese wedge and add it to my toast. And then I just use ranch seasoning and Frank's Killer Red Sauce on my eggs, but it's pretty simple. And I'm not kidding, I eat this like 99% of mornings. It's delicious, it's easy, it's mindless because I just throw it together. I know what I like and it's great. I do like to try to sit down and eat with the kids for a little bit, and then we have to get to school. Mr. Hugo is at school now. His school starts the earliest out of the 3 kids, and Connor will typically take him, but he had a meeting that morning, so I got to take him. But now I'm getting Miss Alice ready. Normally she would just have regular preschool on it, but on this day she had a pumpkin patch field trip, so I am helping getting her ready. And Connor and I both actually got to join her on this, and it's so much fun. I will show you our adventures. But she wanted to have 2 pigtails, but she wanted it some up, some down. So we are getting her hair done. It is always an adventure doing this girl's hair. She is very wiggly and busy, but we picked our bows out. She did very well holding still, and we just need to get our shoes on. We need to take Mr. Callum to school, and then we are off to the pumpkin patch.
I know you want it to be easy, so let your guard down. And I said, something knocked you out. You felt your limitations.
What are we gonna go do?
Filled your mind with doubt.
That's right.
You wanna stay chill right now, and don't let your eyes off the prize. I know you want it to be easy, so let your guard down. And I said,
you forgot a knife.
I know. It's not like they hand him out.
They should.
you can make it too.
Sneak it. Now you gotta deal with it.
Oh, how's that heavy one?
Yeah, I really got it.
There, you carry it?
Let's let me put it in here.
And I said,
Well, Connor insisted right when we got there that we get kettle corn, and then when we were finished, we had to get the donuts, and they were both winners. Alice loved those donuts. I munched on the popcorn. That was my first snack of the day. I munched on it on the drive home. Connor had to go to work straight after, so it was just me and Miss Alice until the boys get home from school. But now we are home and I am unpacking our treasures. We do always get their cider whenever we go to the pumpkin patch. This stuff is delicious. It's from Hoffman's. It's just really, really good. If you're up in Oregon and if you've ever been there, they have delicious cider. But I'm getting that all packed in, and then I'm going to make my lunch. I don't have any meal preps ready. I am going to make them on this day, but this is my alternative if I don't have them. And it's really simple. I like kind of a snacky lunch. I like to do lots of fresh things. I don't really love a hot lunch every day, so this is what I normally go for when I'm not in the mood for that. So I'm just doing some cucumbers and tomatoes. I'm going to have apples and grapes. And then I do turkey crackers and cheese. So it's really simple, it's really balanced. You've got your healthy fats, you've got your carbs, and you have your protein all mixed in. There's not a lot of overdoing it in this one. Whenever I make a meal, I like at least half of the plate to be plants, and then I fill in the rest. So I kept it really simple. It does not need to be complicated to be healthy. I add some salt and pepper to the fruit and vegetable because some say I'm weird. I think it enhances the flavor and I think it's delicious. But there you go. Very simple, very nutritious. I love this lunch.
My, my, my. Like, oh my God. Don't let anyone hold you down just because you are.
Well, now we're getting more into the day in my life. I am getting lunch cleaned up. I like to get the kitchen cleaned up, and then I'm going to make my meal prep for the week. I was behind on that, and so I want to get that taken care of, and I have a window of time where I can do it. So I'm going to get everything tidied up, just kind of the normal everyday things, getting the dishwasher loaded. I need to put the clean dishes away, kind of wipe things down, and then we are going to be making our lunches for the next week.
My, my, my. You got me like, my, my, my. You got me like, there's no other than you now, babe. Nah, 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 'cause you got me like, my, my, my. Like, oh my God, this time it's all different. You got every little string on.
Well, I kept this lunch really simple. I'm just doing chicken apple sausages and Brussels sprouts, and I'm going to make some quinoa to go with it. First, I'm going to make a cup of coffee. I am tired from being up very early, and I'm just adding some sweet cream creamer. I keep it really simple. But I'm going to quarter the Brussels sprouts and the sausages, and then chop up the onion and add all that together. And then I will add my seasonings and oil.
'Cause you got me like, my, my, my. Like, oh my God. My, my, my. You got me like, my, my, my. You got me like, there's no other than you now, baby. Nah, 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 'cause you got me like, my, my, my. Like, oh my God.
Okay, well now I'm using about a tablespoon or so of olive oil, and the same for the balsamic vinegar, and then salt and pepper to taste. And then my seasonings of choice for this were just garlic powder and onion powder. I probably did about a teaspoon or two of each seasoning. I really like to just measure with my heart, and I always hesitate to share these types of recipes just because I'm kind of making it up as I go. I'm a big believer in just measuring with your heart and using what you like, what you have that is available to you. So once I got that all mixed in and it looked like it probably was seasoned enough, I put it on a sheet pan. I have it in the oven at 425. I'm going to let it roast for 25 minutes, and I'm going to go clean up a little bit before I make the quinoa because that won't take as long as the other ones.
And far out for days, weeks, and years to come. Talk. What are words when there's no intention? Oh hey, do you ever think about me? Wonder what else is really happening. Happiness or dollar signs to you. I vow to always be fearless and far out for days, weeks, and years to come.
is wiped down. I'm just getting it put back together. If you're curious, I was just using thieves cleaner to wipe everything down. But now I'm working on the quinoa. I'm using my Instant Pot. It's really handy to make it in there. I have better luck doing it in the Instant Pot than I did on the stove, which I used to be like my go-to. But I'm just doing a couple cups of the quinoa. I decided to use bone broth to flavor it instead of water, but you could use it either way. And it's just 1 per 1.5. So I have, for every 1 cup quinoa, I do 1.5 cups stock. You put it in the Instant Pot for 3 minutes and let it cook. But while that was cooking, I sat down. I'm just getting a little bit of work done, doing some editing for a short that's already up. But I got that done until these roasted veggies were done. They turned out so good. They look really nice. I forgot to stir them halfway through, so I was a little worried, but they turned out great. So I'm just going to do a quick release on the quinoa now that it is done. Give that a little fluff, and then I need to go pick up Mr. Callum, where I'm going to have my second snack of the day. Here is my snack. I found these protein bars at Costco. I think they're really good. They're delicious. They have a great flavor. They're a little delicate, so they're hard to hold, but they taste great. The macros are great. I really like them. And then just to add to the fun, I took a little bit of my kids' candy. It's delicious. But now that we are all home, I am getting my meal preps portioned out. If I were doing a cut or being a little bit more strict, like counting calories or anything, trigger warning, I would be measuring this on a scale, but I don't do that. I honestly think that if you just learn what a normal portion size for you is to keep things balanced and not overdo it, it's a lot more like healthy for longevity, and you're not overthinking the numbers constantly. So I am portioning these things out for a good normal portion for me, and it's that simple. I will count sometimes just to see like where I am at, but I don't do it long term just because it can be overwhelming and it starts to put pressure on the food and enjoying that, and I would like to enjoy what I eat. So those are all portioned out, and then we had to zip over to the aquatic center. Hugo had a swim lesson, so I edited while the kids played Plants vs. Zombies. It's a very fun game. And then we're gonna head home and make some banana chocolate chip Oaties. These things were so easy to make. I needed to use the dying bananas, and I had planned a very simple dinner, which you will see. And we ended up having more time than I thought, so we decided to make these. It was a very last minute decision, but very much worth it. So Alice and Callum and I are making them. It's just bananas, oats, chocolate chips, and vanilla. I was surprised it came together, but they turned out so good, and I will leave the recipe for you in the description box. You do bake them, like you cook them, but they were so good. Well, it came together really quickly. I think I forgot to mention the cinnamon, so I will mention it now. I haven't gone back to re-listen to it, so there's cinnamon in there if I didn't mention it. But I'm just portioning this all out onto a tray. I had to do 2 pans, but I was using my bigger cookie scoop to do it. This thing is really handy. I really like it. I used to think they were overrated, but I now understand, and I apologize for being closed-minded. So I'm just popping these in the oven. They came together really quickly, and I'm going to start dinner. And honestly, I thought of doing something more intricate, but with everything going on this day, this is what I would normally make. So I want to be as authentic as possible. I am making frozen pizza for dinner. and one is a pepperoni pizza, the other is just a gluten-free cheese pizza. I have a very, very mild intolerance, so I can like cook these things together. It's not a big deal. I just can't eat it in large quantities. So I threw them both in the oven and I made frozen pizzas. I felt a little weird. I thought maybe I should have made something a little bit more fancy, but honestly, this is what we had and I think it is relatable. So after I got my steam bath from the oven, I pulled out the pizzas. I'm going to cut them and then we're going to sit down to dinner. Here is my dinner. Half the plate is plants and half the plate is pizza. And then we had some of the cider that we got earlier in the day to drink before we had our Odies. But that is everything. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some insight into my routine, especially my workout routine and what I eat. And I was excited to share it with you. But stay tuned. I have lots of fun videos coming into the holidays. I'm very excited to share with you like the treats and the decor that I am making. So make sure you're subscribed for that. But otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye.